Well, hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. So over the last few days, I've had the New Holland here on demo, and this is our farm's John Deere. So what I'm going to do in today's video is just go over both tractors, and I'll tell you what I think about each tractor so far and how I've been getting on trying the New Holland for the first time against our family farm's John Deere 6R. So we'll start off with the New Holland. On this current T6 generation, they've gone for quite modern styling. It looks quite futuristic. I also like the cab design and layout, and I feel as though New Holland are really moving into the right direction with regards to the aesthetics of the T6 tractors. Another great feature is that they are made in Basildon here in the UK. That alone is quite an interesting selling point for a British farmer. Something else which is quite impressive about New Holland is the price. The pricing on New Hollands will generally be slightly cheaper than that of John Deere, so you are getting a little bit more for your money, generally speaking, with New Holland over the more expensive John Deeres. That's just something which I've noticed over the years as a farmer. Another good thing about the T6 is that on this 155, it doesn't have an EGR or DPF system. Being a 4-cylinder tractor, it's getting quite a lot of horsepower out of that small engine, whereas the 6R, yes, it is 6 cylinders, but it has still got an EGR system and a DPF, and on the 4-cylinder John Deere's, the 6130R, that has an EGR and a DPF system. So it is interesting that New Holland has been able to phase out the EGR and make their tractors a little bit more simple. I have been really surprised over the last few days how New Holland has really updated the cab and brought it into the 21st century. It's comfortable, quiet, and although it's not quite as quiet as sitting in the 6R for a day, it's still pretty good. One slight issue I have had is just the indicator down here. Sometimes when I'm driving, or when I just get out of the cab, I do find myself knocking the indicator now and then. Other than that though, it's not too bad. I can easily see myself spending a day in there. So that's some likes about the New Holland. It's got good styling. New Holland's done a great job with bringing them into the 21st century. It's got a good price and you get a lot for your money. So moving on to the John Deere. John Deere's being a little bit more expensive. You're supposed to get a better, better built product. And one thing I have noticed is they are very well made and put together. These are built in Germany, Mannheim specifically. The 6Rs, the smaller John Deeres, whereas the larger models, the 7Rs and the 8Rs, are made in America, over in Iowa. And one thing I've always appreciated about the John Deeres is they've got a full frames design. So this chassis underneath here starts from the front of the tractor all the way to the back, whereas on the New Holland they don't have that full frame design. They're a front axle linkage bolted to an engine, bolted to a transmission, whereas with the John Deere it's all in a frame in a traditional chassis style, which is supposed to make the tractor slightly stronger. The new 6R series harps back to the old 10 series John Deere in that it's got a square design. It's instantly recognisable as a John Deere. New Holland as well, it's still iconic, it's still recognisable, but just not in the same way. You get that boxy sort of square look of a 6R or a 10 series, and it's just instantly recognisable with the yellow and green. Same with the blue and white, of course, with New Holland. And stepping into the cab, since driving the New Holland over the last couple of days, I do appreciate the 6R's command arm a little bit more now. It's just a little bit cleaner, everything's a bit closer together. I'll appreciate the up and down for my music when I'm on the go. The Vario gearbox is very nice. Yes, you can get a Vario gearbox in New Holland. That is also a good gearbox. However, I do like the John Deere's one. It has been built, I must say, even though it's plastic, it is solid. And there's a lot more space around here. If you can see where I'm putting my arm, even up against the window, you know, I can't even touch the window. These 6R cabs, to spend a day in them, it is, to be fair, like being in a living room. And the overall touch and finish and everything, the build quality is very good. I would say it's really up there. Something else as well, which I think is really good on John Deere, is if you just have a look at the back here where the spools are, you've got these small levers. These levers just next to the spools allow you to release the pressure when you're outside of the cab, whereas if I was inside the cab, on the T6, I would have to activate the spools to release the pressure. And as you can see there on the T6, you don't get the levers to release the pressure, you have to do it from the cab. I have found myself using those levers on many occasions. Something else I've noticed with John Deere as well is the resale value at the moment is strong. It's holding well, so if you bought one, and if you're going to keep it for 10 years and then sell it, you'd probably get a little bit more for the John Deere with the current market at the moment than perhaps a New Holland alternative. However, you wouldn't have initially paid more for the New Holland than the John Deere. It would have been slightly cheaper. So it's horses for courses on that one. Whether spending more on a tractor which you can get a better resale value on will pay off in the long term, or buying the cheaper model and just hoping that you still get your money back when you come to sell it. Of course, no tractor nowadays is an investment because they all depreciate. We have noticed with John Deere's, on the last two we've had, the 6300 and the 6930, we actually made money on both of those tractors, and that was because they were non-ad blue and they were just so desirable. Whereas the new ones might not be as desirable. So it's going to be interesting to see when we do come to sell this tractor, whether we're going to get a good portion of our money back. I'm pretty sure we will, because it has got a reputation in the market, John Deere, as being a top brand, and hopefully we'll see that in the resale value when we come to sell it. And some of the things I disliked about the New Holland is that the gearbox, this particular dynamic command, it does take a bit of getting used to going up and down the gears and then switching into auto in the certain ranges A, B and C. If I was to have a student or a farm worker on this farm and I put them on this tractor, it might take them a little bit of time to get used to this gearbox, whereas I could put them in the 6R and they'd be well away because it's such an easy tractor to drive, that one. However, with New Holland's auto command, with their Vario, that is also quite an easy gearbox to drive, so it's personal preferences really. It does just take a bit of getting used to this particular gearbox, and it is a bit fiddly, and if I put a novice person in this tractor like a farm student, I think they might just struggle to get going on this. Yeah, I probably would go for the Vario alternative. So, you know, both of these tractors are very good, New Holland and John Deere. It's just personal preference more than anything nowadays. They're both really top quality tractors. And one thing with John Deere, you have got that name. It all comes down nowadays to brand strength. I think John Deere has got a very strong brand. It's right up there with McDonald's, Facebook, Google, all those top brands. John Deere, everybody thinks of them when they think of farming. And of course New Holland as well has been building up their brand, and New Holland is getting recognised now as a top global brand, which it is with CNH Industrial. So 20 years ago, New Holland against John Deere would have been a very different story. Nowadays, New Holland is a much better known brand, it's much more recognisable, and they've really come a long way. So maybe we'll go for a New Holland next time. I think it really depends on what you get used to as well. On the farm here, we've been really used to driving John Deere tractors, and we just really like them. And for a family who's been running New Hollands, they would like New Hollands and might not like John Deere's. So it's really what comes down to you, what suits your application and how you get on with them. One thing I will say about New Holland is you get a lot more for your money. They're a cheaper tractor compared to John Deere, and they're still a quality product made in Basildon. Whereas the 6Rs, they're made in Germany, more expensive tractor, they're built to last, and as they always say, nothing runs like a Deere. I don't actually know, I need to learn New Holland's slogan because I don't know what their one is. So leave a comment in the comment section which tractor you prefer out of this lovely New Holland T6 or the John Deere 6R. Whichever tractor you go for, both John Deere and New Holland are both really top tractors, and they would be more than capable of carrying out your farm tasks. It just depends on personal preference and what you need from a tractor. Price-wise, New Holland will always be a little bit cheaper than John Deere's being more expensive, and I suppose, you know, being built in Germany, they are a really well put together product. But yet so are the New Hollands. You know, they're still a good machine, they'll still do the job. It's just how much you want to spend on a tractor and which one you prefer. Leave a comment in the comment section which tractor you prefer. Thanks for watching today's video. Be positive, keep liking, keep subscribing, and I will catch you on the next one.